Ryan, I was waiting for that so much. When I'm like, what? Yeah, I thought you were going to try and catch me drinking. Yeah, hey, there it is. Well, you're doing this. Like, I don't know. That's not that's the little bitty inchworm crawled across the screen.
I don't know how much more I could point at you by doing this.
Everybody, welcome to Two Nerds One Quest. I'm your host and DM JC Dittmer, here with these three nerds because we are all here. That man pointing at me. What? Pointing at me like an inchworm is one Tom M. Norman. How you doing this morning, sir?
Words tougher can be.
Like an inchworm.
Play D&D, we will, yes.
5 inches.
That's man's 5 inches. Around. Oh, got it.
I'm good. I'm happy. I'm glad we're doing it this week. I apologize for last week, and game on.
What does your cup say? It says something about an elf.
It says what the elf.
What the elf. Perfect. That is perfect. Mine is a D&D mug with a beholder on it.
I see it.
Because, as that man to my left on my screen, Ryan Crixus Kukta likes to say, Sundays are for D&D. How you doing this morning, sir?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing fantastic, gentlemen. Just loving life. It's a little warmer, which is really, that's where I want to live. Not in the negatives like we were last week. So just excited for Christmas, y'all. So let's get there.
There's a tree. I'm done with my Christmas shopping. I just need to wrap everything.
I see it. I love it.
Screw wrapping. Just give them the presents.
Yeah, right.
Here
it is in a
divvy it up.
Here it is in a plastic bag. That's your wrapping.
Just put it in a pile under the tree and let them pick their own presents.
I'll just tape the plastic bags shut. That's a good idea.
Yeah, the wrapping was better in the 90s anyway.
He's not wrong.
He is not wrong. That man right there in the Nintendo Entertainment System shirt, speaking of the 90s, is one Jeff. Actually, that wasn't even the 90s. That was the 80s. Although it was still functioning at that point. Yeah. I mean, technically, Jeffs are still functioning today.
There may or may not be a Nintendo Entertainment System in my house.
Didn't you say last week or 2 weeks ago that there were 2 of them?
There's 2 Super Nintendos, one Atari. No, I don't have an Atari. No. Well, I have one of those Atari mod things that has like pre-programmed games on it. Yeah.
The question is now,
an original Game Boy, 2 Switches, a Wii, and unknown number of DSs that we've collected over the years. It could be 7.
Oh man,
probably more like 6.
I got my first Game Boy at Christmas. Oh, what a magical year! I got that with it came with Tetris, and then it got Motocross Maniacs, and then to tie it back to this, I got the Brothers War trilogy of the Dragonlance books that same year. It was a good year for Christmas. God, I remember that.
How do you remember any of that?
The probably two of the most influential gifts on my life. Honestly, question. Christmas gifts.
No question.
Yeah. Jeff.
Never played those, but I have or had. I think I still have Final Fantasy Adventure 1, 2, and maybe 3.
Nice.
I think those might have been previously owned by the Crazy Cooch.
The second one I maybe played a billion times. Like, just playing through with different characters, trying to max the agility on the robot character. Like, just my favorite.
Are you guys ready for this? We were playing Game Boy Color games when we started hanging out. because Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages came out.
Yeah, I never had a Game Boy Color.
I remember that. It's wild to think that we've been hanging out that long. Like, it's been that long ago we were playing Game Boy Color games. We were one generation away from the original Game Boy.
DS played Game Boy Color games, so that's probably how you experienced any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Jeff.
And on that note,
Yeah.
Do you have a recap about what happened last week?
I do.
Fireball.
I wrote it about a week ago, so we'll see how much it makes sense now.
Oh, yes. 2 weeks ago.
Apparently that's
Can you read the recap?
All right. We took a let's see. We took a short rest. We left off at the Alexton farm, I think. So we took a short rest to contemplate the new info that we learned that there may be issues with our previous, what we thought might be a friend, Boros Alexton, that he may actually be an enemy. So we figured out what our next steps might be before torching the Alexton farm and then heading back to Sentinel Hill. We met with Grine and explained everything we had, showed him the letters that we found. And he gave Grim the Sunforger a Warhammer, so Grim was pretty excited about that. We grabbed some food and then headed on down to Moonbrook and arrived around dusk to watch for the messenger. So we sat outside town, didn't see any messenger, so we headed into the schoolhouse where there was some ethereal teacher and students, but they didn't seem to care that we were there. So we did some searching and we found some books on naval warfare, blueprints of Stormwind's harbor, and we found a ruinous flail that Sue took into possession. And while we were in there, out the window, we saw 3 people leaving. We figured that was a messenger with their guards. So we decided to follow, and after about 5 minutes, we attacked. We won and captured the messenger, but he escaped and blew himself up, burned up all the messages, so we don't know what we don't know. So then we decided to head back to Moonbrook, and with the potential plan of torching the building that we thought the rest of the Defias were in. But when we got there, as we were prepping ourselves, we saw 2 people enter the barn, and they appeared to be Mabel and Michael. And that's where I have us left off.
I'm going to click this button right here that says start session. Tom can pull that map up. I did do some thinking and poking around in the map and the combat tracker, and yeah, all the character sheets are in the combat tracker. Not the character sheets, but the NPC, the enemies, the bad guys, all the monsters are in the tracker when you use it now. So now I'm flying with just the map up, which is a whole different ball game.
I love it.
I'm down to 2 monitors, or 2 windows. I have my Discord window on one side, and I have the game on the other side, which is where I've always wanted to be, and it's finally here.
I love it. Finally, technology's caught up to John.
Yep. Yeah. Technology doesn't give 2 shits about me. It's just the rest of the world that finally caught up with.
Yeah, it
Typically,
catches
it's
up
the other
and
way
then it
around.
speeds and takes over the world.
Honestly, what it looks like to me is it looks like D&D Beyond's trying to catch Fantasy Grounds, and they're catching up.
Like, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Real, yeah.
Yeah, and if they can import the character sheets into the character icons, where you like target and it automatically rolls saving throws and things like that. That'll be.
See, I don't like that aspect quite so much, because A, I want to roll dice, and B, even if they're digital, I want to be the one rolling them, and B, at that point, it just starts feeling like a video game.
That's true. That's true.
I don't want to play D&D yet. I don't want to play. I mean, we could play a turn-based RTS. I could go play Baldur's Gate if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of things though that a lot of minor things, or they seem minor, that automatically take care of themselves. Like me always having to remember that when I miss with a cantrip, it still deals half damage. It would automatically do that. Where I have to go like, oh wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's all good. So, Tom, I opened a map.
And
So just to make you aware that there's a map open now. So like if you wanted to present the map to people.
There's a big, beautiful map on the feed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I was like,
cool.
yeah, and
I didn't know if that was going to happen. Okay. You guys
So
are up in the upper right-hand corner of this map in between the schoolhouse and another building. And you see Michael and Mabel in the opposite corner there. The little blue arc thing that you see on the bottom, that's the phone. In the middle of town. So to Mabel and Michael's left, like if they're facing to the left, to their left, further beyond the southwest corner of this map is a large barn. This is what they're by this entrance door to is like a 15 by 15 foot room that seems to be off the side of the barn.
Like
The barn itself is like 60 by 40 with two massive like doors that are currently closed.
So Pepper was prepping to go invisible and or throw a fireball, and now Pepper is going to turn and look at Grim and Sue like, well, that's new. People, we shouldn't be here.
Why would they throw themselves back into the fire?
it just doesn't make sense.
You see Michael kneel by the door, and he touches something on the ground and kind of looks at his fingers, and then kind of brushes it off on his pants and stands up and nods at Mabel.
I don't suppose that you still that it's still a good idea for me to go invisible and go inside, see what's going on. Leave you guys out here.
I don't know that this changes the plan.
As you guys are conversing a little bit, they open the door and both step inside.
How many? I cannot fathom that they would want to live this life.
Hey, but they've chosen their side.
So we just kill them mercilessly?
Our mercy was saving them once.
Are we not to try and save everyone? They have good in them.
But
Hey, Luke.
they're preparing to do much bad.
We need more intelligence. We need to understand.
Well, I mean, Grim, I think you're too loud to go in there sneakily. I
What?
can do it. Yeah.
What?
Or I could cast invisibility on Sue or myself. And someone could go inside. Or I mean, we've got the armbands, but people are going to recognize us now, obviously.
John, is there like a platform or like a window or something maybe on a second floor? You said this is like a barn, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is there any type of situation to where I could misty step onto a platform and kind of look down and spy?
There isn't a platform. There is a window. It's a small like circular window. When I say small, like 3 foot diameter window.
3 foot.
With just a simple cross pattern in it. You think you could Misty Step up there, but you're going to be making strength checks to hang on.
I don't like them apples, Will.
You have to be hard with your little cleric baby arms.
Grab my good hand.
Grim just become Hans and Franz.
Yeah.
Your little cleric baby arms.
You would not be able to hold onto that window with your little baby arms.
Yeah.
You look at those little puny things. They can't even open a door.
You need to come to the gym so we can pump you up.
We just lost like 3/4 of our audience.
Don't worry, it's just Beth.
Fair. That's fair.
Are there any other entrances, exits, or other windows anywhere that we can see from where we're at? Like if
Not from where you're at, but the more you look at it, you think you might be able to Misty Step onto the roof. Possibly it's a straw roof. But if you can Misty Step on there and lay down, you might be able to see through that window, hanging your head over the edge of the arc. Like it's arced like this.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the little window up in the top of it, and then the big doors below it.
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Hey, look at that. It's a heart-shaped window.
I see nothing wrong with this plan. I don't see myself falling off the roof. I don't see myself falling through the roof. This will work fine.
I think you should try
It
that.
is what it is. I mean, I'm not saying no.
There are windows.
You can do whatever you want. I'm just explaining. There may be some complications.
How tall is the barn?
Oh,
The roof by the
40 feet or
window
so?
there.
45 feet.
Okay. Just want to remind everyone that Misty Step is 30 feet. So,
But on top of the little jet out thing is only like 15 feet high. So you could get on there and you could climb
get in there
up.
and climb up.
Yeah. I mean, again, the like straw roof, you'd have to find the supports for everything and not fall through the straw.
There are windows on the ground level, right?
On the far, not that you see. Not that you see.
Okay.
You'd have to move to see from the other side if there were.
All right. Well, they're not going to see us approach. So let's just run over there.
No. Where are the golems? And do they walk through this space?
No, actually, there is one. There is one patrolling, but he's on the opposite side of the fountain, and he moves away and towards the fountain, further to the south, away from the fountain, and then back towards the fountain.
So this is a pretty safe area, theoretically.
Yeah, theoretically, you could time it to walk across this without an issue when the golem turned around, as long as you didn't make a shit ton of noise. There is also the option that you could go back out the alley around and go around the backside of that building and come around the backside of the barn if you wanted to as well.
Messing with John and his maps.
This map is here because you said you were going to cast Fireball last time we played. So I'm like, well, I better have a map ready for this in case.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So I feel like Grim is voting Fireball. Sue, you better talk us into some other plan, unless you want the. Like, I didn't know that the barn's roof was straw. Now that we know that, I would probably just aim for the roof and let it happen as it happens.
The door suddenly opens as you guys are contemplating this.
Oh, we've been thinking too long.
Michael and Mabel come out, and they don't take off through town. They take off this way and head north, out of town. Unless you stop them, they're going to be running.
I take back my previous statement. Fireball, and I'll start walking after the Mabel.
Them or the barn?
The barn, not them, stupid. Yeah, the whole conundrum of let's not fireball because they're in there. They walk out, let's fireball them personally. Leave the Defias.
They look like they're running from something.
Oh no,
And
there's an invisible
inexplicably
monster.
they dive to the ground as you hear a concussive blast. And the door blows open on this entrance door where they were going. And smoke is just billowing out of there.
Huh.
I will Misty
Grim
step
says,
to them right away.
Grim says, I always trusted them. I always
They are
did.
prone. Let's do this. Just because. Let's go.
Initiative.
Yeah, just because it'll be easier to. This
Turn
is
order.
actually really slick to do this. This is crazy slick. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Question for you, because I had a character or a new character in there, and I took them out last night. If they're in there, would they have automatically been in your initiative order?
No. The
get to
initiative.
choose who?
The combat encounter is based on the tokens on the map, and I don't have to add them all. I can add them individually. It's amazing. It is like so slick and quick compared to the old system. Like it is literally a matter of clicking the token and then clicking the plus sign to add to the encounter, and they pop up in the initiative thing. And then you guys just roll initiative. I have an auto initiative button which rolls out their initiatives, and I hit start, and it's there. It's
Isn't that
done.
cool?
It's like wow, it is
That's
so
cool.
great. Like it, I'm like they did some work and some research in how to make this function as best as it could. And I'm really excited to see if they're adding more to this, where it's going to go, because holy shit. One thing I would like is if I could click on the players and get to the players' character sheet, or a summary of it at least.
My
But I
guess
do have
is
your AC, your hit points, and your initiative bonus. So a lot of times I don't need much more than that.
yeah, my guess is
Grim?
that's next. My guess is you'll be able to click on the monsters in the map and use their dice rolls and manage their health. and everything.
And
Oh, is
I
that's
can,
oh, that's what you were talking about before.
I can click on the token, and then I got to start the encounter in order to do it. But once I start the encounter, it puts a little character sheet next to him.
So, Grim, did you want to swap initiatives with anyone? It seems like Sue wants to be the aggressor here.
I'm good. I'm good unless
Grim's 14.
I didn't see what Sue.
Sue's
what's her
9.
initiative?
I got it too.
Great.
Yeah, I mean that might make sense to get Sue.
Oh, wait a
going
minute.
as fast as possible.
I
rolled a
don't have
6.
your initiatives. These aren't the initiatives you had then. If you had a 2, Sue.
I rolled a 6.
Sue's got a 2. Pepper's got a 6. I mean, you guys are in the same order. Grim, what'd you have?
17.
17.
Yeah,
I wonder
that was
if I
last-
need to get you in the order
Do we need to-
before you roll.
Do we need to link our characters to the tokens?
No, they're already character because you add tokens and you go characters, and it's your
Okay.
character token. Your image that you like, how your image is in your little. It's all filled in.
Yeah, it's in there.
It's all
okay.
linked already
Interesting.
because the map was opened from the campaign. So the characters that were in the campaign, I can choose to add those tokens to the map. The only thing I would do, and it's not necessarily something wizards would do, or if they could have a nickname field that would be the name for the token. Because every time I add Grim and Sue, I go in and change them to Grim and Sue instead of their full name on their character sheet.
Mhm.
You had just have Pepper on your character sheet, so I never have to fuck with it.
Yeah, I tend to like to do that.
Yeah.
It's easier.
Yeah, it would make sense for me to switch.
I mean, Grim goes by like 7 different names, so.
He does. So 2 and
so-
we'll give Sue
Yeah, unless-
17.
Unless we want, does Sue want? Do you guys want to swap?
Yes, because my initial want is to go after the 2 kids.
All right. So then I'm going to roll it.
Whoa.
So
Whoa, something new. Top of the screen. We've got the initiative order on the top.
Oh,
of the
really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It shows the next 4 people to go.
And
Or
what do you
current
see?
in the next 3. I see Sue's picture and then 2 green.
Can you hover over them? Do they give you a name if you hover over them?
No.
It does not appear to be.
Hmm.
So, but if they had artwork, I'm assuming it would be.
Yeah, you would know.
And then I see Pepper. I don't see Grim, but that's probably because he's not in the top 4.
I see Grim.
It's funny. I see Grim. So
Oh,
maybe your
'cause
screen isn't.
I've got my screen split in half, so mine's narrower. Cool.
That's really interesting because I don't see that at all, but I have it on the left-hand side of the screen for the order.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
All right.
So it is you. You wanted to Misty
Remember,
Step
Misty
them, do your
Step
thing.
is 30 feet,
Yep.
so you have to.
Yep.
So technically, you could take an
30.
action to
Right
dash
there.
and then still Misty Step.
Yep, that's what I'm
and get
doing.
next to them.
Yep.
You just then have, because Misty Step is a bonus action.
Yep. So I'm gonna move. Action is to dash and then Misty Step the rest of the way.
You'll end up right next to Mabel. You get other side of her. Misty Step's only 30 feet. Nope, down 1. You can't get there. That's 35. That's 30.
Okay.
Like you
I
can
didn't
just
count,
get
yeah.
there.
I didn't count that.
I got the ruler out because it's so easy to do. To just drop the ruler on a character and go, okay, what box is it? Like from Grim to the door, right in front of the door right now is 105 feet. It's so
Gotcha.
simple. It's great. I love it.
I could do that too, but that would involve me clicking on the ruler and using it.
or hitting R. Like all their shortcuts are great too. It's fantastic. I love it.
All right, so I Misty
well
Step
done, wizard.
next to Mabel,
Mabel.
and
Yes.
they are
She's laying on the ground.
They're on the ground. I get down next to them, and are you okay? What? I'm assuming that was you.
She spits a bunch of sand out of her mouth. Yeah. I think that door's open now, though. She kind of looks at Michael, and Michael's like wide-eyed and was like, what was that?
Pepper and Grim are back the way I came. You need to come with us. We can protect you.
We found the way in. We think.
The way into what?
Their hideout.
Good. We can still protect you. We could use that information.
Okay. Where are you guys going?
Well, right now we're going to get the hell out of here.
Yes, they're coming. At that moment, you see a oops, shit, wrong tool. You see a group of bandits come out of one of the buildings near the fountain on the other side. Looking around, they notice the smoke coming out of the barn, and all of them as a group run that way.
Does it appear that the barn is on fire?
Not on fire, but it's smoking an awful lot.
So something is on fire, probably.
Yeah. You see them, the captain's like yelling at them, and one at a time they are going inside. Like they don't want to, but they're like crawling because they don't want to go into the smoke too, but they're investigating. And one at a time they get in there. And the bandit captain kind of takes a look around. Let's see. He is a little rattled. So let's give him a... Oh, let's see. Give him a wisdom perception check. Yeah, he does not notice at all. Smoke and everything is obscuring. He does not see you guys laying down. And he ducks in the building too. Graham, make a perception check, or Pepper, either one, both of you.
Slow.
Natural
Pepper.
20 for 20.
Pepper, you see in several buildings, heads peeking out of, like curtains being pulled and eyes peeking out. See what the explosion was. And the golem at the end of the street has turned and is coming your way a little bit quicker than it normally does.
Hmm. All right. Are we still in initiative? Then
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah, I mean, unless you guys want to duck out of it and just all in general flee and meet up somewhere.
I guess I would ask Grimsu said fireball. Should I torch the barn and we run?
So Grim says, either fireball or grab your weapons and let's get in there.
Well, I don't have the information that Sue has, so I'm gonna 150 feet gets me fireball. So
Easily.
So let's fireball the probably the edge of where the roof meets, where the roof line meets the little side building.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hit whatever looks the most flammable on the roof, and
The roof.
yeah, so aim for that, and it'll burn upwards. So
Yeah.
8d6 if it matters.
Go ahead and roll it.
Is 31.
31 damage.
And
There is another explosion. I'm assuming you guys are running at this point then? Yes? Or are you going
that's
in?
my plan.
So I'm kind of headed this way.
Yep.
And I'm kind of standing in between anybody who'd run out and this group here.
There
But I'm gonna
seems to
wait-
be a
I'm gonna
with
wait
the
for them to
fireball.
vacate.
With the fireball, there's a general commotion and more Defias start pouring out, but there is way more smoke now with the roof on fire. And the only thing that seems to notice you guys is the golem giving chase. But if you guys all run now, they aren't gonna. The golem isn't gonna catch you. Everyone else is trying to. They're setting up. They're starting to call for buckets, and you see some bandits come out near the. Like you are not a thing right now.
Approximately how many people in those first couple seconds would we be aware are around?
20-ish.
With my free
Coming out of
action,
various buildings.
with the free action, can I just yell to Grim once he gets over by us? Like, Grim, we need to get out of here now.
And that's your general consensus.
Yeah.
I'll just
Considering
repeat it then. Oh, go ahead, Genius.
Yeah, considering I'm between the buildings there and feeling relatively safe, I'm just gonna watch and make sure they start running before I start running.
Okay. The golem sees you guys, and as he's walking that way, one of the out of the burning barn, a goblin comes running out and jumps in front of it and like scampers up its side and pulls the like hat thing that they got on it and smashes like two different things with his fist, and it turns towards the fountain and opens up its interior and drops a hose in there.
He's reverse peeing in the lake.
The goblin jumps down and just grabs the like opens the leg of it and goes running out with another hose and starts trying to spray water on the building. It doesn't work very well. The water's leaking out in several places, but it is you get the feeling that this goblin, I mean, you don't even need to make an insight check, had this great idea to make a like firefighting goblin in case we were attacked with fire. But he's just like the outcast of the goblin inventors. And he saw his opportunity and it's not going well.
Yeah, he's no gnomish inventor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you guys are completely free to go at this point. Everyone focused on the barn.
All right, let's run.
All right. You clear. There is, as you clear Moonbrook and start, I'm assuming, heading towards Sentinel Hill.
Yeah.
As you clear, you look back, there is just a giant billow of black smoke in the sky.
All right. When we're far enough away...
That was more than I was expecting to do, says Mabel. She looks at Pepper.
Yeah, when we're far enough away and we can see plenty of ground space to not be surprised, yeah, we're gonna let's get some words out of them.
We're
yeah. What?
Yeah.
What
okay.
you guys do?
Oh, we were tracking Hogger for Marshall McBride. He thought we might be able to, with the Defias ties to them, that we might be able to get in and find them. And, well, all our tracking led us here to a locked door. I still had some stuff in my bag from before. Mabel says with a sheepish grin.
Huh. So you had no idea what that building was. You just followed Hogger to there.
Yep, there's just he leaves footprints and he's shedding for some reason.
So the fact that we were told that was like the headquarters for the Defias in Moonbrook, that you had no idea.
No. The headquarters for the Defias?
And when I say that, I want to gauge her reaction to see if it's authentic or...
go ahead and make an insight check.
Because I know I'm giving away information, but I was like waiting to see. 7.
She seems genuinely surprised that that's the headquarters for the Defias. That would explain the locked door under the carpeting. There was a massive like carpet, and we pulled it back, and then there was this locked trapdoor that I guess leads into the ground. I don't know that makes much sense.
I mean, that's a good place for a secret headquarters.
Michael's not good with much, and Michael like backhands her gently. He's like, "Hey, well, he can't pick a lock, and he's good at tracking. Okay, he's good at tracking. He kept us on the trail several times. I'm not good at lock picking either, but dynamite usually does the trick. So we didn't see anyone around. So
feels like dynamite's undefeated. So.
Yeah, that seems accurate.
Mm-hmm.
I think the door's probably open now. I did not confirm before there was a. What was that?
Just a little trick I learned.
A little trick? I mean, I've seen magicians do little fireballs in the eye before.
I mean, it helps when
no magician trick.
When the building's made of straw.
Well,
straw and sticks, you're gonna get your house blown down. You gotta build it out of bricks.
You turned that barn into a dog, she said. You made it go woof.
Oof. So was Hogger inside there?
We don't know. His trail ended at that trapdoor.
Okay, well, maybe we roasted him. Who knows?
I don't know. It didn't seem like anyone was in there. Like, it was empty. Like, the barn was empty. The trail led to the door. There were other footprints there, too. Like, that door, it's whatever's in that door is where they go.
Well, there's going to be too many people around now to worry about that, I think, tonight. Real quick, can I look and see, are they wearing Defias armbands at all?
Yeah, they look like Defias. Like, they intentionally...
All right. Yeah, I'll make a comment about that. I see you're still wearing the armbands and see.
Well, because the Moonbrook, the Defias are in Moonbrook. We didn't know that was their like headquarters where we were headed, but we knew they had control of Moonbrook. So in case anybody like said, "Hey, what are you doing?" We can we know certain passwords and things that we can fall in line and fake it. I mean, they're old passwords, but they might work. I mean, we had the story that the Brackwell pumpkin patch was taken over, and we could have just said we were on the run since then, trying to make our way back. I mean, we had stories, we had ways to get out of things.
All right, Pepper's gonna look over at Sue and Grim and see like, is there any burning questions that like they're itching to ask? Otherwise,
just the barn. No questions, just the barn.
Yeah. My first question would have been to check, well, not even a question, but I would have checked them over to be sure they were okay. Like, are they hurt? Do I need to cast, like, your wounds on them? Do I need to...
No, they're good. Other than a couple of, like, minor scrapes
just
and diving in the sand.
Rattled from the explosion.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you actually came upon them, they were kind of wide-eyed looking at each other like, holy shit, there. We need to get back to Marshall McBride and let him know where Hogger is.
So we're gonna spend the night at Sentinel Hill. You guys might want to take your armbands off, and for the rest of why don't you start from the beginning and tell us everything that happened since we last saw you while we're walking, and kind of get the narrative story of
tell your story walking, pal.
So Michael was able to he ended up in the logging community. It was a place when he kind of turned himself in, he went not stir crazy, but he wanted to be useful, and he was talking to Marshall Dugan about that, and wanted to go somewhere where he could use his hands and like use his strength to do something productive and help earn his living instead of and they actually grabbed his entire family out of Stormwind and moved everyone to the logging camp. And that's where he met Mabel. And Mabel and him wanted to help. They understood something was going on that was bigger than the little bandit camps in the Northshire Valley and at the Brackwell Pumpkin Patch, and that there was a bigger scheme to it all. So Marshall McBride had gone to the logging camp just as a routine thing to check on his guys over there, make sure everything was going okay. And at that point, they both came forward to him and said, hey, we would like to help in a way. Any way that we can help with this. We know this is bigger than Brackwell Pumpkin Patch. This is bigger than the Northshire Valley, the Vineyard Gang. And Marshall McBride said, well, I think I have McBride and Dugan flip-flopped. McBride was the first one, right?
Yes.
In Northshire Valley. Yes, I have him flip-flopped. Marshall
so.
Dugan. The one from Goldshire is the one they're working for, Marshall Dugan. Yeah. So
Okay.
they said, hey, is there anything we could do possibly? We both have previous Defias ties. We know a lot of things. We can give you some information. We could probably even likely pose as Defias for you if you need be. And the only thing he really came up with, because he knew you guys were out doing your thing, working with Grind Stonemantle, is that Hogger needed to be found yet. He had apparently had some ties based on information you guys gave Marshall Dugan, that there were some ties between Hogger and the Defias. So they were sent to try and track him, as he hadn't been seen for a while. And they were able actually to track him into Westfall and through Westfall down to Moonbrook. They have no idea what is necessarily going on in Moonbrook other than it's Defias controlled. So they had their gear on for that purpose, with backup stories in case someone said, hey, what are you doing here?
Mark?
And as they're telling the story, you actually see them they're pull off Defias headbands, armbands, face masks and stuff, and take off some of the like defining things, to like put the daggers and everything in their backpack and stuff. And at a point during that, they both reach into their shirt and on a chain pull out a like Alliance badge, basically to say, hey, we're representing Stormwind stuff. So
Cool.
Likely playing both sides.
You have done well.
Like I said, we need to get back to Marshall Dugan. I mean, we have money for the flight. We may take it tonight yet. And let him know it leads here. I don't know if you guys can do anything with that information. I'm looking for him at one point, Marshall Dugan said. Something with my brother. God, he wanted to come along so bad. He was so jealous. I can't get the kid to stay home. Well, mom's better now. Mom is much better now, which has been nice to see. She's cooking for the logging camp. It took her a little while to sober up, but once she got there and started finding purpose again in making food for people, it's been nice. I have a family again. But that's actually a family and not a dysfunctional gang.
That's what really matters.
I'm guessing you can tell the difference now. All right.
What does dumb shit to you? She says, kind of hanging her head.
So, I don't know if we made it back yet, or if there's still time to chat. But okay, I was going to just say,
if you still have chat stuff you want to chat about, let's chat.
I was just going to then say, okay, well, Sue and Grim, what's our next move? We've got, besides talking to Brian, going back to Moonbrook might be risky, but now we have more information. We still, something's going down in Stormwind related to Boros, Alexton.
They'd be in high alert in Moonbrook now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably not the best time.
I mean, unless we wanted to take advantage of maybe Hogger's going to be careless. You're hot on his trail, apparently.
I think we've got some information on Boros, Alexton. I'd love to see if we can catch him unawares.
Okay. I am down for that plan as well.
Thing that's weird, though, is that we still haven't figured out who M is. This is somewhat Jeff and somewhat Pepper talking, but we haven't figured out who M is.
It's your mom.
But Matthias Shaw.
Are you saying this
sent
out loud to
us-
them in front of Mabel?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess so.
Okay, so continue with the conversation.
Yeah, sent us to Boros. So either he's completely unaware or he's completely complicit. And I don't know how we determine which side of that coin he's on.
You said M? Why did you say M? Mabel says.
We found some correspondence that had some notations on it.
Defias correspondence?
Yeah,
About shipments?
possibly. It's been a long time.
Probably Morgan.
Morgan. Who is this Morgan? Because that's...
The good news for you is he's dead. He's the guy
Well,
you
that's
killed
good
when
news.
you saved me and Dilly.
Left over there.
As Morgan, he's also known as the Collector. He was
Okay.
the master strategist in moving the gold and lumber out of Elwyn Forest.
Okay. Well, hopefully that's the case, because then that's one less person on our lists.
Solution.
Is there any other
Man.
questions you have? Like, I knew a lot about what was going on. Really, I mean, they're moving gold from the mines and the lumber from the mills somewhere via the river. Like, it was being sent out toward the ocean, and I don't know where it goes from there. But that was always the thing. It was always shipments and lumber, gold, and then they were trying to line it up where they would tie the lumber together into rafts and then dump the gold on top of it so that it would all float out together. And that's their only concern. And then there's something about quotas and timelines and I don't remember what they called it. The construct, it wasn't weapon, but it was something like that. I can't think of what it was. It's frustrating. But it was always about making sure that got built for the timeline that they had set.
How were they getting the shipments down the river without being seen? Because there's bridges on both crossings to get to the ocean.
Schedules.
Just making sure it goes through at night.
Morgan had this intricate sheet of paper that was like a graph that had several things on it that, I don't know, was all timelines of travel and whatnot. I don't know. It was confusing to me. I saw it once though, and I was like, "Holy cow!"
That seems like a lot of material to not be noticed on the receiving end of it. I mean, obviously they were noticing on the losing end of it, but down on the ocean side, you'd think somebody would see something.
Yeah. I
Do
don't
you-
know.
Do you know who's in charge of all of this? Do you have an idea as to who the overseer of this operation? Have you heard?
Morgan was the top level for me. He's the one I knew. He was reporting to someone, but I have no idea who it was.
Where did Morgan work out of? Like, what was his home base?
The Brackwell pumpkin patch.
Okay.
He was in charge of basically setting stuff up. The idea was that him handling the lumber and stuff, that the kobolds and the gnolls would handle the gold situation. I don't. I mean, I got no real clue about that. Michael at that point goes, "Well, I know I know the kobolds were sent out in groups. Like every once in a while, they'd be sent out in groups in clear area. Make sure no one's around. Maybe they were doing the same thing with the gnolls, like clearing the bridges and clearing the shorelines.
That would make sense.
So if we
I don't know. Like
time
all my stuff is just up in Northshire Vineyard, man. That's all. That's the further place I went. I mean, you guys killed Garrick, so that was my direct report. I think Garrick reported to Morgan. So if
all
that
right,
is
so we've got some kind of construct or weapon being built. We've got books on naval warfare and blueprints of Stormwind. I mean, there's a lot of people in Moonbrook, but I don't really know that there's anything that we're going to get out of it, especially if they're on high alert now.
Maybe
Mabel looks at you guys and goes, "I want to know what's in that door. Where did Hogger go?"
Maybe it would be in our benefit to get some kind of high-powered spyglass to take a look into the waterways. You know, if it's going out into the ocean, maybe they have some kind of platform they've set up out there offshore where they're building this thing. Maybe that's why nobody knows what's going on.
I mean, if Shaw is still an ally, we probably need to report back to him on our way to teaching Boros a lesson, or at least finding out what Boros is up to. Maybe we should take some griffins in the morning.
Yeah.
About this time, you guys are approaching Sentinel Hill.
So I don't have much for spells left for today, so
It's dark too, as you are here. Like it was nighttime.
It was dusk already before when we got to Moonbrook. So
the Mabel looks at you and says, "Is there anything you'd like us to tell Marshal Dugan? Because I think we're going tonight yet on the Griffins. We tracked Hogger as far as I think we're comfortable going. I mean, I probably would have gone into that door had I had the opportunity, but loud noises, fireballs.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed a good idea to get out.
Tell him to not trust Boros Alexson.
I could do that. If that's truly what you want me to tell him.
Yes, it may be beneficial to have him treat that relationship with a wary eye.
I guess
right out of my head, Tom. A wary eye.
Yep. I don't know how fast his contacts are, but we may want to have as much preparations, especially dockside, as possible in Stormwind. if everything ties together the way that it could be.
Okay.
So again, he's not in Stormwind, but maybe he's got allies or contacts that he trusts.
All right.
I'll fish 5 gold out of my pocket, and I'll give it to them and tell them to stay safe. And if they need anything, we'll be in the area and take care of their mom.
Will do.
Say hello.
Let us know if you need anything else.
Say hi to your mom for me.
Did you just say we'll be in the area and take care of your mom?
Maybe.
All right. I mean, I've got a couple spells left, but I would like a long rest if it was up to me.
Mabel is on. Okay, so Michael has gotten on the Griffin and taken off, and Mabel is on the back of the Griffin when you hand her the 5 gold. And she says, thanks. That's helpful. Good thing these griffin rides are on the government. And she kicks it and it takes off. And they do fly away, leaving you guys at the base of Sentinel Hill, looking up at the tower.
Or the FBI Witness Protection Program.
Yeah. You guys go sleep for the night, long rest, or are you going to go right to Grindstone Mantle?
I feel like he's probably sleeping right now also, and our information going to be just as good in the morning, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no point in rushing it. We need to...
Well, and Sue, if you don't need to sleep as long as Grim and I, because you're an elf or whatever, if you wake up before us, feel free to start the conversation and we'll catch up. If Brian is awake, at least.
I need 4 hours, so I mean, nobody's going to be awake when I'm ready.
Yeah.
Needs a nap and a sandwich.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Tug and some shut-eye will be good.
He's a snorer.
So you guys get long rest. Go ahead, take your long rests.
Yay.
Yeah, I heard we get to level up, right?
Sure. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Actually, you will.
Yay.
You will. What time is it right now? It's 9:12. Okay. If you want to try and level up quick right now, go for it. I don't know that you're going to be fighting anything yet today, but
Yeah, I'll wait till after match. After match. I'll wait till after our match.
after the match.
I think I can do it. If I wrote down what spells I'm adding, I think I can do it. I'm trying to see. Did I write them
So,
down?
Grim and Pepper, you are having your long rest. Sue only needing 4 hours. At a certain point in the morning, there is not a commotion and not like an attack or anything, but there's a general, like, the busyness in the camp picks up.
Side note, John, during this time, I'm going to attune to the ruinous flail.
Okay.
Because I did not have any chance to do that up until this point.
That works. You attune to it, and when you finish attuning to it and you stand up and you notice that there is some hushed movement. Like, it's not a high alarm thing where they're waking everyone up for an attack or anything like that, but they're like, something's going on. Like, it's usually not this, the couple of nights you've been here, it is not this active at this time of night. And it's like 3 a.m.-ish, 4 a.m.-ish. Still dark, but early morning.
On the hill or like around it?
Around the hill. Like, someone came in, like, there was someone that came in and talked to basically the lady that's been keeping charge of the inn, woke her up, talked to her. The guards were notified of something, and then this person went out. Okay. And there was the couple guards woke up 2 more people, but all real kind of hush hush. They didn't want to disturb the general sleep of everyone. Like, right. Commotion, like there's a heightened awareness of something, but not a attack.
Danger.
I'll ask the first guard I see that looks like he's aware of what's going on. I'll ask him, "What, my good man? What is happening? This seems to be a little out of character."
We don't know where they went.
We don't know where.
Moonbrook is empty.
Who went?
The Defias in Moonbrook. After what happened last night, they cleared all the buildings. Like, our spies on the hills overlooking it saw them moving. The golems are gone. Everything has been completely cleared out of Moonbrook, almost like it was like they're relocating or something.
Nobody saw them march out?
No, actually, a lot of where they went was the building that got lit on fire, a barn or something. A lot of them were filing into there, apparently. Some of them were headed west, overland, out of town, towards the coast. About a 50-50 split is what they say, but whatever it is, they're doing something. And we're just making sure that we're not the target. We're doubling our post, our perimeter, extending it out a little further, just to make sure we aren't caught off guard by anyone. So,
that makes sense.
heightened awareness. You can go about your business like you would normally. I mean, I'm sure if you wanted to go talk to Brian, he's probably
awake at this time.
With this going on, yeah, likely. I think he's probably the one orchestrating all of this.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my good man. I'll go talk to Grind, see if he's up.
All right. You enter there and he's got candles, like burning sconces and with candles everywhere, just kind of burning, and he's like looking over paperwork and stuff. And he's like, we got them. They're watching the coast. They're watching there. Okay. God.
Hello. I'll gently kind of knock on the door as I come in.
Sue, come in.
I understand that the Defias have abandoned ship, huh?
I understand you burnt a barn down?
Well, we may have had...
And I got some message about Hogger from Marshal Dugan.
That is correct. It seems like Hogger was in the building, and...
Did he burn it down? I got all kinds of conflicting reports here. Some said a magic user, sounded like Pepper. That's my people. I tend to believe that more than anything, but why did you set fire to the barn?
Well, we thought there was Defias in there. And we wanted to make a statement. We thought it was best to take out as many as we could.
I can confirm there is at least 20 Defias in there, because they've gone in there in the last 4 hours. There's another contingent of Defias that have headed towards the coast that we're keeping an eye on as well. A tighter eye on them.
It sounded like, and maybe I heard that Mabel had said that there was a trapdoor, right? Like she saw a trapdoor?
Yeah.
Okay.
She actually saw it. That's what the dynamite was that she lit. It was they were trying to open a door that was locked.
So
that Hogger's trail led to.
Yeah. So did Mabel tell you about the trapdoor in the barn?
I got that from Marshal Dugan. I don't know who Mabel is.
Oh, yes, because she replied, yeah. So my guess is they are using that trapdoor. My assumption would be it leads to tunnels, like escape tunnels, or maybe tunnels to, maybe where they're keeping supplies, or a way to circumvent watchful eyes. It may be beneficial to send a contingent of army into those tunnels.
I don't have army to spare for that.
I may be able to...
You're not an army.
We are not an army.
But...
we do have a one-man wrecking crew. Who I'm sure would jump at the chance to smash face.
Well, there are fascias to smash that we don't know where they went. They're the ones we can't track because they apparently went in that building and disappeared.
If
do you think you could take your friends and getting through Moonbrook now should be, based on everything we've seen, relatively easy. There shouldn't be anything there except wildlife now at this point. But can you track those Defias down into whatever door tunnel thing that you're referring to? Could you do that for us?
Yeah, we can
report back anything you find.
We can do that. Do you have anything that may help us with this task? Any potions of healing or anything that might, help us, give us extra strength or some extra armor or anything that maybe we would be better than what we have already?
Pocket bacon.
I can give you rations. Potions, I can ask around. If you check back in a couple hours, like say check back at dawn, and I will try and round up some.
Who's Dawn?
Anything I can get for you.
Do I know
She's
this
the lady
Dawn?
She's the lady running the inn down there, or the barracks area.
Oh.
Yeah. Check with Dawn at dawn. She didn't have a name until now, and it's just convenient to go along with the joke.
All right.
It's like when I go, damn it, I don't have a name for him, and someone says Bob. I'm like, yep, it's Bob. There we go.
We dawn at dawn.
We dawn at dawn. At dawn, we plan.
Thank you, sir. We shall report back to you once we check this out, and if the eyewitness account is true, maybe we can finally get this Hogger fella taken care of.
Whatever you do, do it now. The clock is ticking clearly at this point. Whatever they're planning is coming.
I agree. I'll give him a slight head nod and I'll walk out.
Okay, and he nods and he goes back to his papers and he's trying to arrange. And he's like, and you hear him say, "Well, if I message Marshal Dugan," and that's what you hear as he goes. He's going back to planning things and talking to himself. You go back down towards the barracks, and as the sun is kind of coming up, is there anything you want to do? That there's like a 1 to 2 hour period before the sun's coming up.
No, I would probably go face where the sun is going to come up, and I would just do my daily prayers to the god that I worship. That I
your character sheet, character sheet, and playing your spells.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah. No, I would be found at the high point, facing the sun and praying to my god.
Mm-hmm. So when Pepper and Grim, when you guys wake up in the Pepper, I assume you wake up first. It's just my assumption. The way, if you guys disagree with that, you let me know.
Kids always wake up way too damn early.
Yes, they do. Dad, can we open presents yet?
Yeah, I'll get up, look out the window, see that the sun is up, and I'll give Grim like a serious boot to the gut, or the back, whatever's facing me off the bed or wherever he's sleeping, and then when he wakes up, it'll be like nothing happened, kind of thing.
Right in his butt. He sleeps in the fetal position.
Yeah, so kick him in the butt, and then when he looks like, "What was that?" I'd be like, "Oh, you're awake."
Oh, I was dreaming I got kicked by a wee baby.
That's good. It's time to go get us some chow.
I can just see Grim just kind of laying there like, no butt stuff, no butt stuff. Kind of waving his hand.
Make an insight check as you guys move about and start doing your morning routine here. Both of you.
Ooh, that's a good one. 20.
14.
You both realize, Grim with a little more accurate Pepper, that something's going on. Like, clearly there's an energy in camp and a tenseness that isn't normally there. A lot of the laughter that typically happens has been dispersed, and there aren't quite as many people around. And you go grab some breakfast. Do you eventually find Sue? Do you go down to breakfast, or do they find you on the hill?
I would, once the sun starts coming up, I would probably go back and check on them, to see if they were up, because I would want to get up as soon as possible. So
you walk into the dining area, and they are eating bacon. It is a quick meal. It is scrambled eggs. It is bacon. It is
Best day ever.
bread that isn't toasted. It's just throw a bunch of it in between the two slices of bread, eat it, and go. Is kind of what people are doing.
While Pepper's eating, she's writing her notes in her journal to keep her records. And she's like, okay, how does this sound? It was a somewhat confusing day. Whose friend, whose foe, I couldn't say. But a big fireball made it worth it all, and the Defias have now had to pay.
Ooh. Ka-ching!
That's a high class note.
that'll do, pig. That'll do.
Wow. I had an alternate ending in case there was no fireball.
Nice.
Or no, there's no fireball, so...
See, doing it this way, Jeff, you got to do twice as much work.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It depends on the timing of the timing of the long rest.
I'll explain to them. So I'll sit down at the table, grab a plate of bacon and eggs. That sounds really good right now, by the way. And
Oh my god.
We have a change of plan. I spoke with
Ryan.
I was gonna say Grainer, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. I spoke with Ryan this morning.
Who's Grainer?
And the Defias have abandoned Moonbrook. 20, he says, about 20 or so have gone into the barn, have not returned, and a group of them have headed west towards the coast. He has tasked us, and I have agreed that we need to go and check out the trapdoor, their tunnels, see what they're planning. Ryan feels like this is imminent threat to the area. He feels like they are ready to begin their attack, or whatever their plan is, and he wants us to check this out.
Back to the Moonbrook.
Sounds good.
Yes, so we'll be heading back to Moonbrook. He said we shouldn't have any problems getting into the barn since nobody is there. We do need to check with Dawn, who may or may not have some extra potions for us. So we'll talk with her, and we'll maybe head to talk to Grind to see if there's any last notes. But it's been a couple hours since his last reporting, so maybe we'll see if there's anything new. Then I'll shove a whole bunch of food in my face.
Sounds good.
Cookie Monster style.
Okay.
Bees
Yeah, I mean, we
for
can always-
bacon. That's good enough for me.
We can always get back to Sentinel Hill in a flash. So,
Bacon monster. Bacon. Sue the bacon monster. He's eating all the bacon. That's why we need to sue him.
So are there griffins in town?
Yeah, there are a couple. There are a couple there.
Would there be any that would go in the direction of Moonbrook?
No.
Are there any that would go over Moonbrook to some other destination?
Yes.
I'm not jumping off of a freaking griffin.
I'm thinking that would be the quickest way to get there.
And how do you
much
plan
time
on
would we
landing?
save? Oh, leave that up to me.
No.
I'm a wizard, Harry.
No.
I'm a wizard, Harry.
It's not wrong.
Are we playing like a version of Fortnite, but like World of Warcraft Fortnite, where like you jump out and you got a parachute?
As long as we're not over 600 feet high when we fly over it, I can make sure we don't take any damage.
Be sure to thank the griffin before you jump.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Meet me.
How much time would that save us? Like, if it's worth it's just a first level spell slot, so I'm not too concerned.
I mean, it would save you like going from it's about 3 hours. So taking the Griffin to it, because the Griffin would actually be going to a place called Booty Bay, much further south.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, if we're flying over and we can just take a feather fall down.
Yeah, you could do that. It would take maybe a half hour to get there via the Griffin.
So is it worth the 2.5 hours on
Maybe.
this? Part of me is like, maybe this would be a good practice to see if we can do this again over another location. That's maybe a little more risky because this seems like a relatively safe dive.
Safe jump.
Yeah. So I'll outline it to them and say, like, you want to save 2.5 hours, here's what it's gonna feel like. Or here's what it's gonna look like, at least. Don't know what it's gonna feel like. Haven't done this.
Tom, you know how you're working with like PaxAurum logos? You're gonna have to put wings on it. Like Rangers. Airborne Rangers.
Yep.
Seems awesome.
So is this the plan? Are you taking a Griffin? And jumping off?
Doesn't sound like Grim has an issue, Sue.
I'm gonna declare us to be the 69th Airborne.
All right.
69th Airborne. They go down head first.
It's fine for me.
That was quick. That was good.
That's what she said.
Yeah, she did.
All the above.
All right. Yeah, the only trick is we all have to fall off at the same time.
Good luck with that.
Could happen.
What's the cast distance on like how close does everyone need to be for feather?
Within 60 feet of me.
Oh, okay, you can do that. Yeah.
So kind of like a 1, 2, 3 drop and then cast Featherfall. So that's the plan. You feel free to describe it as you see fit.
Don't forget to ping the map before you jump.
And then add glitter, because we're gonna leave a glitter contrail on our way down.
Yeah.
He's literally
Fortniting this shit. I'm tempted to have like 70 Dust Devils make like a storm to close in on Moonbrook. Oh man. No, you know what? You know what it is? It isn't Fortnite. It really isn't Fortnite. It's Elden Ring Night Rain.
Yeah. I mean, theoretically,
from what we know of it, that's what
rules of war. Yeah.
Yep, and they'll be really confused at Booty Bay when three
when an empty Griffin shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Booty Bay is a goblin-owned neutral port city at the very southmost tip of this continent. It is.
Let's pin. We'll pin a note and some extra gold to have them send the Griffins back.
Okay.
Right,
That'll work.
So that way we don't lose the Griffins.
So you get everything in line, and you go get the couple of potions that you do get a couple of just healing potions from Dawn. Dawn gives you 2 healing potions, just base level healing potions. And then you get everything. You get the gold, you get the notes all tied into the saddles of the Griffins, and you take off on the Griffins. And they are headed toward Moonbrook. And they actually fly out. Moonbrook is like a target destination on this route that gets them to Moonbrook, then to the coast, and then to and down. They follow the coastline down all the way to Booty Bay. And it's through past Strangleborn Valley and all those areas. The as you are on the Griffin, you do see the coastline from where you're at. There are several Murlocs encampments along the coastline that you see. You actually see Defias bandits near Moonbrook fighting with a group of Murlocs. And they don't seem to be doing too well with the Murlocs. As anyone who has ever fought Murlocs knows that when you find one, you find 50.
Too bad we don't have
Unless
any
you
beads
can-
of fireball or whatever. Beads of just drop them as we're flying.
They're a little far away from where you're at. It's really funny, Tom, that you say beads of fireball, because there are quests within World of Warcraft where you ride on the back of a griffin bombing shit. It's like a special outside the box thinking quest line where the griffin takes a path, but then you have control of where you're bombing and you're laying waste to like all these mechs in that area. It's really fun. It's really kind of cool. But that's off on the coastline in the distance that you see that fighting. Something you are able to notice from this height, there is a small alcove from the ocean that you see this massive cave entrance in this alcove that you don't know how well this would be able to be seen from land or even from the water. Like, it's specifically because you're elevated like this on the back of these griffins that you can notice this. But about the time you're looking at that and seeing that, Moonbrook directly below you.
Yep. So I'll put my hand up and then make sure we're all within 60 feet of each other and they're paying attention, and go.
Okay. Everyone roll a dexterity check.
Straight up dex?
Just straight. Actually, no, not even straight dex check. Everyone roll a d20.
Okay.
Oh, and I got a
Closer your
17 on a
numbers
dex
are.
check.
The closer your numbers are, the better.
Do you want me to re-roll?
Actually, no. You guys can keep the rolls if you wanted to.
All right, I rolled a couple now, so they're all approximately 7. So
Go with the dex check. Everyone go with your dex check that I said initially, because some people started rolling it.
all right.
We'll do that.
So yeah, my 20 was 13, but so oops, I'm sorry, that was acrobatics. That was not correct. Hold on. I got a little better bonus for acrobatics then. It is 13. So right.
So a 13, a 17, and an 8.
yeah, that's not ideal.
Stu, you are the first one off your griffin. You are tumbling. And you kind of flip yourself over in the air and you realize Pepper hasn't really jumped yet. And about the moment where you're going, what the hell? She jumps. And then shortly after that, Grim tumbles, like he had his foot stuck in something or something, and he tumbles off the back end. The griffin kind of squawks at him as he does. But you guys are now in free fall, all within range of the
Cast Featherfall.
You cast Featherfall, and you land safely right next to the fountain in the smoldering remains of the barn to your left.
Yeah, we descend at 60 feet per round, and so we have a few rounds to check out anything
You don't see
around,
anybody.
but you said everything's quiet.
Everything is, as Brian had told Sue, it is cleared out. You don't see people. You don't see, like, there are doors hanging open that were closed before. There are no golems. You can actually notice as you're coming down, the trap door, like, blown wide open. There's a hole with, like, stone stairs leading into the ground.
All right, be on your guard. This is where shit gets real. Grim, you go first.
All right.
You guys You gonna lead in? What is your marching order into this?
I would assume it would be probably Grim, me, Pepper.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up my steed too, and I'm gonna be riding on my steed.
And
Your steed
Downstairs.
is going to have difficulty navigating the caves.
Okay. All right, then I will not.
I mean, you
Fat
can, but
guy
riding
on
it may be different. You
a-
may end up with some bumps on your head.
Little
I mean, it would
horse.
just be obvious to me if it makes sense to have in there or not. So
Yeah, it would not make sense to have him in there.
Whenever
D.
Grimhawk casts his horse, Sue always starts singing "Fat dwarf on a little horse." Fat dwarf on a little horse.
Except the horse is actually a grand. You're a paladin, right?
it's basically a horrifying nightmare.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll still sing it.
It's like I get like
I-
3 steeds to choose from. One is like I forget exactly what they look like, but they're all pretty badass.
Nice. I was gonna say the paladins in World of Warcraft actually have they get a horse that they can summon. That's one of their class features. Summon.
Oh, that I do too as a paladin. So
Yep.
I have I choose a celestial, fey, or fiend.
Oh, okay. So you chose a fiendish one, huh? Nice.
A horse, of course. No one
A horse
can.
is a horse. It's Mr. Ed.
apparently, you can choose any large rideable animal, such as horse, camel, direwolf, or elf. And then
The
it's,
orcs ride direwolves in World of Warcraft.
And yeah, celestial, fey, or fiend.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
a cool spell. Or
So-
cool ability spell, yeah.
I thought a campaign or an adventure with like a group of paladins would be a lot of fun sometime. Like you're all in like an order of paladins.
That would be
And
fun.
there's enough differentiation in them all that you could do something like that, which would be kind of cool. But you do descend the stairs. It's Grim first, then Pepper, then Sue.
Sue than Pepper, I think.
Sue, then Pepper.
Unless
Pepper's
somebody
going
has a
up
Is
different
it-
order that they want, it makes no difference to me.
Okay.
Just as long as Grim's first.
Is there a light down here?
There is some. Not as much as you like. As you're looking around, you're starting to get down, and there is clearly a mining operation down here. In this early spot, it kind of opens up into a bunch of mining tunnels, and there are torches and lanterns and stuff that are on the walls. Some of them are burnt out, some of them are still going, and the couple few that are still going are giving you enough light to navigate through this.
Okay. I'll have my the sun staff ready in case it gets to the point where I need it. Because with the other spells I wanted for today, I did not take dark vision. So
Yeah. So you continue on down through this. You find a lot of dead ends where they were mining out different parts of it, but it looks like they're mining ore here, like iron ore, more so than gold or anything like that. And there are carts and cart tracks leading down tunnels, and you soon realize that this is the best way to kind of figure out where everyone is going or where the traffic is, and you start following these cart tunnels or these tracks down deeper into the tunnel, and you eventually get to the point where you hear a sound like a lumber mill or something like that, and some high-pitched voices, and then you hear a familiar voice as well. And you come to a room that it's going to open up. You don't have to step into it yet. You step into it when you want to. But there is the sound of saws. And clearly someone like a taskmaster or something instructing, well, something. And you hear a bunch of higher pitched voices and grunts. So if you want to peek in there, you can. I can describe it more. You may want to do that stealthily. I don't know. It's up to you. Or do
Yeah.
you just want to run in balls to wall? And
No.
see what's going on?
Sue is going
We
to
hear
kind of grab Grim by the back, like, "Don't you dare run in there."
We hear a familiar voice, right?
Yeah, there was a familiar voice in amongst all of it.
Can we see or hear who that is from our current?
No,
Vantage
you'd have to see. Like, if you listen carefully, go ahead and make a check. All three of you, see if you recognize the
What
voice.
kind of check?
Just on voice alone. Intelligence. You're trying to recall from your memory whose voice this is.
Low.
17.
17. So Pepper and Graham, you're like, you kind of looking at each other. You're like, who is that? And Sue looks at the two of you. Well, Sue looks at the two of you and goes, "That's Alexton. It's Boros Alexton that you hear." And he's talking about making sure that the remaining, it needs to be finished tonight. It is moving tonight. The remaining lumber needs to be done now. And when you hear him say now, Taskmaster, there's a whip crack and shit. And he said, "Get the lumber below." And he leaves. It's the last thing you hear from him.
Oh shit.
Get him.
Yeah, we gotta get him.
Get him. Let's go.
That's
Let's go.
Yeah. And all you hear inside the chamber is two guys going, yeah, like they're working themselves up before a football game, slapping each other on the helmets. And
Do you really make that much noise?
no, God, no.
Okay.
But that would be hilarious. Like you would have like dwarves,
Yep.
like a group of like barbarians or something that would every time before they got into battle, they would just start screaming and yelling and banging each other on the head. And
I should have taken silence so you guys could do that in a bubble.
Time.
It's like headbutt, who was the one guy headbutting all the guys with their helmet on?
Yeah.
He didn't have his on.
oh, that was Chuck Cecil.
Yeah, was it? Yeah.
Chuck Cecil did it the other day at his college game.
Oh shit.
Concussion.
Yeah.
Concussion.
Oh,
He doesn't know any better. He's had too many of them.
what's his face? Quarterback for Tampa Bay right now. Fuck. He was doing that at one point.
Anyway,
yeah, that's neither here nor
you
there.
are standing in this hallway. There's enough sound that you may even be able to do that little celebration amp up thing, but you don't know what you're looking at.
I'm actually going to slap Grim on the ass and say, "Go get him." And
Hell yeah.
and push him into the chamber.
Do you actually do this?
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Grim, do you fit it or do you go?
Oh no, I want to go anyway. So like,
Okay, Grim. So he
Hopefully
snaps your ass and shoves you in the chamber, and you go running out. And what you see before you is like it's hard to count, 5, 6 maybe goblins. But the goblins aren't the thing that gets your attention. The thing that gets your attention is the giant goblin robot with what amounts to skill saws for hands that is cutting into the wood, and the goblins are moving the wood into a position to be on a cart and shipped further down into a tunnel behind this, what looks, for all intents and purposes, like a goblin lumber mill.
Grimhawk runs
you
into
jump out there, and it's 10 to 10, and I don't have a map for this.
That's fine. I was gonna say
We
Grim,
will call it here, but yeah, there is, and this goblin mech thing with saw hands is like twice your height, or actually, you're a dwarf, so it's like 4 times your.
Yeah, Pepper would have been looking backwards, like looking back the way we came when the push happened, and she turns around like, where did Grim go? And she's thinking Grim did this, not Sue. So
Yeah.
she's like, like yelling, Grim, or not yelling, but like, why'd you do that, Grim?
We'll come out to the two of you coming out from around the corner, standing behind Grim and seeing what he sees.
I picture Grim being pushed in, and the gif of the
Yeah, he
baby
was.
that goes into a room, eyes gets really big and then runs right back out.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That was really good, John.
All I wanted to
I
do.
wish we had video of that. Oh wait,
Wait a minute, we do. That may become
This'll be
a
fun.
TikTok.
Oh man. So you're telling? Well, I mean, you're telling Graham, but the rest of us that there's a room full of lumber and sawdust,
And
things
sawdust.
that are highly flammable.
Yep.
I'm gonna enjoy the next session. I feel like.
And about 6 goblins and a goblin machine.
Yikes.
And me without
All
my
right,
flame
I'm gonna-
retardant cape.
And you guys
I
at
should
level
probably-
6. Remember to level, because you leveled
Did-
overnight.
Did already.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I'm glad I did because I picked my spells before knowing what we were walking into.
Excellent.
This will be fun. I gotta start drawing my 20-foot radiuses now.
I need a map first.
That's true.
25. 25 if the dust lights up.
Yeah, I mean, if the air is full of dust, it's going to be. Yeah. Yeah.
God damn it. Who brought the pyro girl?
Well, you've got Sunforger over there.
Yeah, you got
too.
Mr. Sunforger over here too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
we're
once per day, though, right? The Sunforger.
That's once per day, yes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's still morning.
I'll save it for Boros Alexton's face.
all right. We are. Hold on. Let's do that. And let's do.
We are. Hold on.
All right. We are Tuners and Quest. We are here Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Central Time, ready to bust face next week. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Are we all here next week? The 22nd.
Oh yeah, it's the
Right.
first Sunday of my 13-day long vacation. Fuck yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, let's do it.
I might be drunk. I might be high.
Nothing on my calendar. I'll be tired, but nothing on my calendar because Saturday before is a drinking event.
Yeah, it's, same. We
Hey,
have.
you'll be where I was today.
Well,
Just hydrate when you're done drinking.
We have family
Like
coming.
32 ounce glass of water and 2 aspirin. My old drinking days remedy for hangovers.
That was when I was in college. That was if you don't want a hangover, drink as much water afterwards as the volume of liquor or alcohol that you had. Not later, not like glass for glass, but if you did a shot, then drink a shot's worth of water. So if you had 5 drinks, that's probably like a glass or 2.
Yeah.
I'd be in trouble.
I'd come home from
peeing
the
all
bar.
night, but
I'd drink a 32 ounce glass of water and take 2 aspirin and then go to bed. And I'd wake up in the morning. I'd feel great. Keep in mind, I was like 23. So
Mm.
The
rules
liver
may
of
be
a
different
child.
the rules are different at 47. Hey, you got to remember to drink the water and take the aspirin.
Mm.
I
I'm not
can't even
passing
remember
on
to get my
coach.
debit card back from the bartender.
Live that life.
So yeah, well, I got to go back to the bar this morning.
Live that life of recounting. Well, it could be at the restaurant.
Oh,
It could be
it's
at
real
Monsters.
wild.
It could be.
You know what's real wild is I was running Curse of Strahd during COVID, and me and Liz and one other person were together, and we'd like pregame the session, like we'd start drinking before we started playing. There were several times. Then we'd start the call, and a call to Rick and Julie, a call to Dave and Christina, and so we're all on a call together, 3 different computers, and a lot of the times when we showed up, because we were playing every week, because it was COVID, no one was doing anything. So
Yeah, right.
it was something to look forward to and kind of mark our week out. So a lot of times we'd get there and it would be like, does anyone remember what happened last week?
Yeah.
Because we were all drunk.
Couldn't
So
imagine.
the first hour is like put together. What did we do last week?
And the last hour is like, Ryan, wake up,
Yeah.
take a turn.
Exactly right. That was usually Julie. Sitting on the couch like, is Julie, Rick, are we losing Julie? Yeah, we're losing. All right, cool. We'll call it here. I'm not going to remember this anyways.
Too good.
It was fun. But looking at all this map stuff, and speaking of Curse of Strahd, I really, really want to run a campaign with all this. Like, that may be the next thing I do. Like, it's real slick. And running a book adventure is very, very fun. Especially when you have all the maps and stuff. You can just drop into this damn thing and
I'm gonna close this out. We'll save this chat for post show.
Post show.
yes, me being
We're
goofy.
here next week.
All right.
Everyone's good.
We are here next week. Everyone's
We are here next week.
maybe a little tired, but we're here.
So we are Two Nerds on Quest. Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Central Time, twitch.tv/TomMNorm, TOMMNORM, or bit.ly/NerdTube. That's our YouTube channel. Go there for all the VODs. VODs will no longer be on Twitch. Everything is going to be on YouTube. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get those shows in your face. They are fun. And we have a lot of fun doing it. Podcast drops in the afternoon for Patreon, patreon.com/Two Nerds One Quest. That is $1 a month, gets you all of our shows, all of our pre and post show content, unedited, better quality audio files. And now that I am splitting YouTube videos, it will have the uncut YouTube video. So now you will have the uncut YouTube video as well as the uncut audio, and the edited video is on YouTube, and the edited audio comes out on Thursday mornings at 7:30 a.m. Central Time. So you get the regular podcast on Thursdays, you get the edited video on YouTube, and the unedited stuff comes through Patreon for $1, one single solitary $1 a month, which I need to add some more tiers, which I keep saying that every week, but I don't. So whatever. Yeah, that's all I got. Whatever. Give us ratings, reviews. Let us know how we're doing. And just come, enjoy the show, have fun with us. With that being said, for me, for Cooch, for Genius, and for the DMJC. Later, nerds.
Rock and roll, baby.
I'm